Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope that this message finds you guys in good health and find you guys in good peace. I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to talk about something that I've been dealing with. Well, this actually came to me today, and it came to me today because of where I feel like how I am right now. My last video, I was talking about how I was in this, I don't want to say emotional like it's a bad thing, but how I was on this spiritual embrace, and how it just feels so good. And I literally have been watching every area of my life of the last couple of weeks. And I have seen so much purpose. God has been showing me so much discernment. He has been giving me so much discernment. He has been showing me so much about the reasons why certain things happen. And as I'm at a state right now where I just feel like so good and just so happy, and everything with my kids are okay. Everything in my relationship is okay. My mother is okay. I never thought that I would ever be to a point that I would be here. I never thought that I would be to a point that I would be in this space of freedom in my mind. And I'm guessing it's because of the things I went through in my life, all the things that I allowed to happen to me because of me not loving myself, of me not seeing myself in the view and the lens that God seen me in. I was always looking for love in all the wrong places. So, and me doing that sent me in years of just self-destruction. And so now that today, I could see why each one of those memories, each one of those situations has purpose into today. And I want to start where, even when I got fired from my job, and right before Christmas, it was, I think it was like December 1st or something like that. And this was a job that I was giving my all to. I gave my all to this job. I was showing up. I literally changed the culture. I literally changed so much in that job that they had me going to other stores or talking to people that's been in a position way longer than I have, and training them up and teaching them my way of doing things. And then out the blue, I lost my job. And today, it literally came to my mind that was just God removing me from that situation. That was God making room. That was God making sure I had the capacity to be able to accept where I am now. Because that job, I love that job. I was a manager at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I loved that job. But that job wouldn't have helped me get to who I am today. That job wouldn't help me get into the career and that next stage that God gave me permission to do. Me staying at that job, because that job wasn't big enough for what God had me. And I was comfortable and I was complacent, but God had so much bigger for me. So he had to remove it to expand my capacity for what he had for me. And not only what he had for me, it's also what he had for everyone. Hold on, that's in my my generation and all the blessings.
Whenever they get you loaded, here's your papers. Can you just give them to Jacob when you're done so he can scan them and send them to me?
I sure will.
Okay.
Thank you, Mom.
And he just finished loading that last truck, so he's about to start on you now.
Okay, that's fine.
It's only like a couple stacks of pallets. It's only like half a truck. It's not.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I am at work, so I gotta do a delivery. So it was just showing me that God was just making room. That God was just making room. And by me, come on, Holy Spirit. And by me just getting that now, and me just realizing that now, what just came to me was, I need to continue to do that. I need to continue to, this time let it be me that made the room. Because the first time God did it, The first time God made room for my blessings. Now it's a partnership. Now I have to make room. I have to make my capacity bigger for God to be able to do what he needs to do. So that was just a lesson in of what he need me to do in my life. And so to go back to something more recent, I had a real horrible situation with a guy that I was dealing with. And I'm just going to say it. This guy had me fooled. This guy came to me at a time. Okay, I did a fast. I did a fast with a couple of ladies because we were fasting about, relationships and about our necks and about our husbands. So right around that time, I met a guy. And I was like, oh my God, he's into church, and this is me coming into my new, my new era, my new phase, my new next. And I'm like, okay, I met a guy. This guy is different. This guy is about God. This guy do Christian hip hop. This guy is all of this. Like all of this stuff that I wanted in a man, this guy have it. And I knew that then, and it's like everything was just, our conversations was good. Like everything was just lining up, just great. I'm talking about great. And so it was a few things. I was still drinking at the time. And I was still smoking vapes and cigars at the time. But he didn't do that. He didn't do those things, so he told me, right? So I'm like, you know what, God, everything's going good. I pray for this man. I fast for this man. Everything's going right with him. You know what, God? So I pray and fasted for myself to be able to, so God can take out the taste of my mouth of the drinking and everything and the vaping and the smoking, because in my mind I'm like, you know what, God, because let me tell you one thing about me. I always, no matter, even if I'm asking for something to myself, I'm always thinking about the next person. So I was praying to God, like, God, I want you to remove this from me, so because this guy doesn't do these things, and I don't want nothing that I'm doing, if this is going to be my husband, I don't want nothing that I'm doing that can draw him back into his old ways and things that you deliver him from. So I went into a fast for this. And when I did that, God took it away. God took it away. And then as the relationship kept going months down the line, I just started feeling some kind of way, and we got to like arguing about petty stuff. And when we argue, we argued. And I'm the kind of woman that I never raised my voice at a man. I never did, because first of all, it wasn't modeled in front of me. And any ex-boyfriend that I ever been with, they'll tell you, like, me and her didn't go through that. Like, we didn't. I think I had a fight with one of them. But like me and her didn't too much, like it wasn't the disrespect thing. It wasn't none of that from her. Like she was just always just this nice woman. Even in my past, I was always just, this my man, and what, I'm with my man. I'm gonna be supportive to my man. And with this guy, it was the arguing. And I knew that I was outside my character, who I believed that the woman that I wanted to be. And so all that happened, right? So then a couple of months later, it was bam. Something got in my spirit, and I was driving there. I'm a truck driver. I was driving at work, and I pulled over in a safe space, and the Holy Spirit just told me, call your sister. My sister been working at the courthouse for over 15 years. So I called her, and make a long story short, I asked her to look his name up. She was like, well, sister, I'm at work and I can't do it on the computer, but I can walk you through how to do it. Okay, that's fine. Come to find out, this man was married. This man was married and has been with this woman almost a decade. Now, almost 2 decades. So that hit me hard, and it was like, and I think it hit me hard this time because I fasted for this guy. So I thought. I fasted for this man. Like, this man had me so fooled. He was doing so much manipulation and so much deceit and so much lying. He was doing all of this in the name of Jesus. He was doing all of this behind the cross. He was doing all this. Like, it was times that me, like I told when we was arguing, he would point his finger and talk down on me, telling me I'm acting in the flesh. Like, he was doing all of this knowing that he was living this life. But he tried to break me. He tried to break me because he seen clearly something in me that intimidated him. So he tried his best to break me. And once I found out this man was married, he got to crying like, oh, don't leave or whatever. Okay, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm done with that situation. So as I'm bringing it back to now. So now, as I'm getting closer to my relationship with my boyfriend now, and we're steady growing and growing. And last night, God has shown me, and even today, he has shown me so much. And this is why I say I love God real bad. Because even though I was hurt, even though I felt like, you know what, I was trying to I was doing the right things. I was walking, I was, removing stuff from myself. And I ended up getting hurt by somebody that was in church, that was, but then God showed me last night and today, as I got closer to the guy now, that's crazy about me. Like, he don't care about my past. We don't talk about it. Like, he just gives me so much peace now. And what God showed me today and last night was everything that happened with this other guy was on purpose. Everything that happened with this other guy was to build me up for him. It was to build me up for my husband. So everything that the enemy meant for harm, because the devil tried to break me because I fasted for this. So the devil called himself because the devil is not a creator. He can only intimidate. I mean, he could only what's the word I'm looking for? He could only he's a copycat. Everything about him is artificial. He's not a creator, so he can't create anything. So he will bring things of the old, things that he think you want, and he'll butter it up and sugar it up and make you think it is from God, and it's really not. And that thing, you got to be careful, because that thing will hurt you so much more than anything. So, and again, you know how the saying is, what the devil meant for harm, God will turn it to good. Sarah Jakes Roberts said a message that what the devil meant for harm, God also meant it for good, because God meant for you to have good since the day he created you, when he loved you enough to breathe his own breath into your body. And God created us in his own image. So God always meant for us to be good. God always meant for us to be okay. So even though the enemy tried to, he put that man in my life for that, God made the blessings from that even bigger. So all the tears I cried behind this man hurting me and deceived me, and used the witchcraft and manipulation on me to get his way and to try to use me for whatever he wanted to use me for my body and everything else, God got the last say-so in it. And now, if it wasn't for me dating this guy, I'll still be drinking. I wouldn't even be in a close relationship with God as I am now. So that hurt, because now the guy that I was dealing with, now his pastor is one of the guys that I followed. His pastor is one of the guys, is one, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say one, is the most person, I mean the most, I don't know if I'm saying this right. His name is Marcus Rogers. He has so much oil on him. And he has so much truth in him. And I've never, in my 40 years of my life, met somebody that teaches the Bible like he does. This man has so much anointing in his life. And the thing is, I wouldn't have been able to be under his, I would have never seen, he's been on YouTube for 13 years and I've never even heard of him. So the enemy tried to use this man to break me, but God used that to pull me to truth. Because every time I listen to Marcus Rogers or I hear his Christian hip hop and his music, I feel closer to a connection to God. Not even that, my kids do too. I can put on gospel music and my kids sing it with me. They rapping it. They like going to the church. Like, just me getting into that truth. So even though that situation took me to a dark place, God met me right down there in that dark place. And he made the blessings even bigger, and I'm feeling it and living it every day. So the devil tried his best to break me, but God always have the last say so. He's always going to get the glory and the praise. And again, I would not have this connection I had with God if I wouldn't have had that hurt from this guy. So I can look at him, I can hate him, I can do all of that. I just pray for him. And I talked to him, he told me, oh, I'm done with all that and all this. And I found out he tried to manipulate somebody else. But you know what? That's between him and God. I'm going to continue to pray for him. I'm just going to continue to do me. I can't worry about what everybody else is doing. But because of what he did to try to break me, what the devil did to try to break me, I have a man that loves me. I love my kids. It opened my eyes to so many things. It opened my eyes to the way I vote, the way I think. Like, it literally took me and my spirituality on a whole different level because of him trying to break me. So you know what? I thank you. I thank you for your pain being a gateway to my spiritual maturity that I am now. I thank you for hurting me, because if you wouldn't have hurt me, I wouldn't have grown as much as I've grown. Just like Paul say, if I had not been afflicted, and if I boast in anything, I boast in my infirmities, in my pain. I'll boast in that, but anything else outside of that, I boast in God. So I give God all the glory for my life now, and I thank him. I thank God for freeing me in my mind from that situation, because now I'm loved the right way. And not even that, we're going to continue to grow. Now I have a man that doesn't care about, like, he just care about me and my kids. He care about my well-being. He stay out my way. I stay out his way. Like, we just have our thing. And I know that God put us in each other's life for a really good reason. But everything I'm doing it on God's timing. And I don't want to go before God. I don't want to move before God, and I want God to be in the midst of me and his relationship. Me and my relationship with my kids got better because from that pain. Me and relationship from everybody in my life has changed because he hurt me. And it only changed for the better. So guys, I hope that this message, I don't even know how to end the message. I just hope that this message touched somebody. I hope that this message lets you know that whatever pain you're going through is not the end. I literally got fired from that job like 3 years ago. Now I have a career. And not even that, now what God planned for me next is so big. But I went through I went through that season with grace. I went through that season still praying. I didn't let it break me. I didn't let me get fired from my job and I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills or give my kids any Christmas presents. I didn't let that break me. As a matter of fact, I see God's face even more. So anytime something come up, don't look at it like it's what was me or something is bad. That's just God making capacity for your life and for what he has for you next. So now that God gave me a vision to my purpose and my next, now because God showed me by his actions on how to make capacity, now he don't have to take anything from me because I learned from what he modeled. I learned from what God modeled to me in my life. Now I, Erica, could come to God and say, God, you know what? I'm making capacity in myself. I'm making capacity for you and what you have for me and for my next. So God did it first. Now I'm picking it up. So he don't have to take me through that pain no more. I can just go and grow and make room for him in my life. So I'm going to always make these videos. I'm going to always give God glory. Every time somebody see me, hear me, I don't even care if it's just my testimony. I'm going to always show up for God's people and let people know you don't have to stay where you are and hope is coming. This 3 years later, and it's just changing. This is just changing. All this, and God doing it piece by piece and season by season, but it's coming. Your change is coming, baby. Just hold on. Just hold on and keep seeking God's face. Even when you're hurt, keep seeking God's face. Even when you got manipulated, even when people did things that hurt you, don't give up. Continue to seek God's face. Because of my faith, let me know now. And now when things happen, I don't even get hurt by certain things anymore. When it happened, I'm like, I know what that is. The devil's a lie. Not today, Satan. I serve God. God already told me. I have everything in me. I have all the power and authority in me to make this situation okay. It's all about my perception on how I handle this. And I will not give the devil room over my emotions anymore. He do not have territory in my life over my emotions. So when stuff come up like it did this morning, and like it's doing now, let me tell you something. I'm at a job site right now. It started this morning, which is Monday, because I work Monday through Friday. I got something happening out the way. I'm like, nope, I'm not letting it. I had a great weekend. I'm happy. God is working in my life. He's working in my kids. He's working in my family. I'm literally getting praise reports from everybody that's close to me. And I'm loving this moment. Like I said, the blessings don't have to happen for me to give God praise for from seeing everybody else praise break. So I'm literally in an odd moment this morning. And then my first stop this morning, it was crazy. And I'm like, nope, I know what that's coming from. The devil got mad because because I've been walking with God, and he's trying to irritate my spirit. And I'm not gonna let it happen. So then when I get here right now, I'm supposed to been gone, but I'm sitting, and instead of letting it, I did call my manager and I let him know what happened. But instead of me just letting it get me all bent out of shape like normally, because I asked God to take over, to control my emotions, I'm like, you know what? I'm about to get on here and make a video. Do not, like the words say, do not leave room for the devil. Every time he try to attack you, get your eyes off of yourself. Put your eyes on the kingdom. Put your eyes of everything above. Even in the midst of something going wrong. I wouldn't care if you got a phone call. Your husband's cheating on you. Your wife just did this. Somebody's in an accident. This death just came. Whatever it is that's going to bring you any kind of emotional trauma. You lost your job. Your house is on fire. Your kids in an accident. Whatever it is that you feel is going to shift you from this moment to another moment, and especially if it could be detrimental, and you feel before that shift comes, get your mind off of you, even the situation, and go right to God in that moment. Go right to God in that moment and let God take your emotions and take you through it, because he's going to take you through it with so much peace. So now I'm sitting here gracefully looking at the bigger things in life, looking at, you know what, let me just make this video. Let me just tell them about the glory of God. Everything is frustrating. I got to sit and do it because people ain't doing their job. But guess what? Let me get on YouTube and tell everybody about the glory of God. And that's how you got to handle things. It's all about your perceptions. So when something emotional comes to try to shift you, and it's going to have you bound, and before you know it, go to God. Go to God right then and right there. Don't wait. Don't wait, because when you wait, you're going to sit in and you're going to start thinking, oh, what about me? I'm feeling this way. I feel some kind of way. I don't like the way I feel. It hurt. This hurt. That hurt. It's going to happen. So before you take all that in, give it to God first. The battle was not yours. It's the Lord's. And we're in a spiritual warfare, especially if especially those of us who decided to give our life to Christ. Satan not happy with that. The devil wants us back, and we can't go back, and we can't give him that authority over us anymore. So you go to your king. You call on Jesus. You go to who you serve. You get in your word. You find a word. You ask God to give you a word. You go. If you know where to start, go to the book of Psalms. The book of Psalms have all kinds of encouragement and upliftment, and you calling on God, and you get into fellowship, and you get in alignment, you getting, you having this worship with you and God. Go to Psalms and pray that thing over your life. Get in your word. Go to God. Don't leave room for the devil, because at the end of the day, after that rain is gone, that sun gonna come back up. That rainbow gonna come. And just take it from my story. This 3 years later, I never thought I'll be here. And God not done with me yet. Keep seeking God's face. Remember, guys, to do something that'll make someone else smile without expecting a smile back in return. I love you guys. May you guys be blessed. I pray that this message touches someone. I pray that God continue to open up doors for you. I pray that God continue to give you discernment and cover you. Cover you in every area that he see he need cover. I'm asking that he remove anything from you that's not in his purpose and his will for your life. I pray that you guys start to get in alignment with God. I pray that you guys start killing off those things that God told you to kill. Those things that in your life that God told you to destroy. I pray that you listen and you get in alignment and you do it. I pray that you be obedient to what God has been telling you to do, because in the Bible, as it says, God said, obedience is better than sacrifice, and it is. You want something from God, you got to sacrifice. Just like our kids. We want our kids want an allowance or something. Did you do your chores? Did you do this? Do you do the same thing with God? It's reciprocity. It's give and take. You sow, you reap. You reap, you sow. You got to put something in and get something out. We can't expect 100% of God if we're only giving 25% of ourselves. God is not a magic wand or a bunny in a hat that we could just tap the hat and it's going to bring out what we want it to bring out. Get into relationship with God. Get into relationship with God. Because at the end of the day, the things that he's telling you to break away from, kill, get out of your life, it's only to benefit you. It's only for the benefit of you. Not even that. It's to help you stop generational behavior. Because a lot of the stuff that God wants us to give up, we picked this up from somebody else. Like me, mine was addiction. Mine was addiction, and my father was a drinker. A lot of people in my family were heavy drinkers, but because they didn't kill it when God told them to give it up, now I'm living with it. But guess what? I was literally just praying this to God a few minutes ago. Everything that I want to see in my kids, I'm stopping it here with me. Just like the quote Obama said, be the change you want to see. That was my prayer over my life. Not only within my kids, within my family, within my relationship. Everything that I want to see out of somebody, I want to be that first. I want to model it. People get more of what you model than what you say. Live that thing out. Let the change, like Michael Jackson said, the change start with the man in the mirror. I love you guys. God bless you. I have to get to work. I don't even think he's nowhere near done. He's not. And I have to use the bathroom. God bless you all. God bless you. Remember, that thing that God wants you to give it up, it's time. It's time. And you know what it is. It's that thing that's the hardest thing for you to give up. Because God told you before. He told you what that thing was. Kill it before it kills you. I love you guys. And the last thing, you don't want this. You don't want your babies picking this thing up. I know we all think we grown, we can drink, we can do all this and all that in front of our kids and twerk and do all that. Remember, our babies are sponges, and they see what we do first. So just think, the way I'm living my life right now. Yes, I'm grown. Yes, I feel like I can do what I want to do. But the way I'm living my life right now and what I'm modeling in front of my children, do I want to see them here? Do I want to see them doing what I'm doing? How would I feel if I seen this in them? I love you guys. God bless you. Remember to get in your word. Read your word. Give God that time. And it's going to be okay. I know you're going through it right now, but it's going to be okay. It's a time and a place, and it's an end date for everything. And your end date is coming up. I love you guys. Goodbye.